Hi, my name is Liam Johnson and I work at Fulwood Academy. My role is Associate Assistant Principal, so for me that means all things curriculum and teaching and learning. And I'm doing a short video for We Are in Beta, particularly for Curriculum Thinking Week, on the topic of reframing learning walks at Fulwood Academy. So learning walks can be quite a daunting prospect, often referred to as observations. At Fulwood, we set out about 2 years ago to try and reimagine the purpose of learning walks, as they often are seen as quite judgmental and top-down heavy. They are often seen as maybe a tick box exercise or a checklist exercise, something that maybe only the senior leadership team do. And generally in a lot of schools, from what I hear, more so just to monitor what's happening rather than to actually develop what's happening. So we asked ourselves a few questions, one of which was, what would it look like if learning walks genuinely supported teaching and didn't just monitor it? Another question was, what if we asked staff who are being learning walked to actually be involved in co-designing the process? And another question was, what if the feedback became a tool for teacher growth and not for teacher grading? So we removed all gradings, and the process is very much areas of strength-based, areas of development, and action steps that can improve the areas of development. We do believe that the learning walk process that we have created using AI and other simple measures is a positive one that helps improve pupil progress here at Fulwood Academy. So we began by engaging staff directly. Every teacher was informed clearly how the learning walks were going to progress and asked how they would like to receive feedback from learning walks, and they had real options. Now this process was done via Microsoft Forms, and it was as simple as giving staff a question about how they would like to receive feedback. Now we had answers such as an email to both yourself and to your subject leader, an email to yourself only, verbal feedback to yourself only, that they would like further information first before confirming any answer on that, or they didn't want to receive feedback at all. And we didn't have anybody that said they didn't want to receive feedback. We had quite a few that stated verbal feedback initially, but have since moved to emailing to just themselves, having seen that the process is quite a positive one. We had a few members of staff that we needed to have discussions with because they did want more information first, and that was generally centered around appraisal as well. So there wasn't a gimmick. It was a commitment to professional trust, and it is set the tone for basically everything that's followed. Staff were clearly informed learning walk data would not be used for performance management. Its sole purpose was to improve pupil progress and support the craft of teaching, and that clarity ensured that we built trust throughout this process. So behind the scenes, the routine is rigorously planned. We use a shared spreadsheet with every teacher's name down the left and our senior leadership team across the top. And the senior leadership team are assigned staff to visit for that particular week and essentially turn the cell green when they have completed that learning walk. And each learning walk lasts no more than 8 minutes. Every Monday, the senior leadership team receive an email, and this details the focus for the week. So that could be do it now retrieval practice, it could be procedural knowledge, it could be modelling, so I do, we do, you do. It could be using pre-prepared models with regards to the I do, we do, you do. It might be visualizer use, and particularly using visualizers for live marking. So this is an example of what that email would look like, and you can see that the link there is for the SLT to know which staff they are visiting, and you can see the highlighted parts there, procedural knowledge and worked examples. We have a what to look for section, and we have some suggested pupil questions to support there as well. These focuses that are within the email are essentially aligned heavily with our instructional coaching booklet. So we have a 72-page instructional coaching booklet that we have produced that looks at our phase 1, our phase 2 and our phase 3 strategies. Now our phase 1 strategies are very much lesson planning based, our phase 2 strategies are very much behaviour based, and our phase 3 strategies are all about maximising learning and progress. A little bit of an example as to what that looks like is here. So you can see that we're on the cold call section here. So it's been designed to give 5 step-by-step actions for each of the phase 1, 2 and 3 strategies that we have in place. And it also supports staff in knowing when to use that strategy, when to challenge using that strategy, when to reinforce, how to enhance pupil performance, and obviously the benefits that occur as a result of that. Now we have many strategies over phase 1 and 2 and 3. So you can see we've got a contents page there of all the strategies that we have, and there is a 5 step-by-step actions on each one of those, and the following supporting page for each one. So our staff have a hard copy booklet of each one of those instructional coaching strategies, as well as a live link in case we make updates throughout the year. They can refer to the live link instead of referring to the hard copy booklet. So we make sure that the senior leadership team know not just what to look for, but what to discuss with pupils. And we do believe that that gives for a more positive experience, and we believe that that showcases the curriculum better than simply monitoring how the teachers are teaching. So once a learning walk is complete, the senior leadership team member inputs their notes into our custom built lesson visit tracker, which is a GPT. So the GPT itself has been rigorously trained to align with key pedagogical frameworks. It has been taught about Rosenshine's principles of instruction. It has been taught about Doug Lemov's Teach Like a Champion strategies. It has been taught cognitive load theory. It has been taught about our phase 1, 2 and 3 strategies that I previously mentioned. It's naturally been taught our curriculum policy as well, and our core values. It has been taught to be non-biased, so it gives a summary of strengths, 1 or 2 areas for development, and then clear actionable steps to improve those areas for development. And importantly, it reduces observer bias by focusing on what students are doing only and not just what the teacher is doing. It also protects privacy and complies with GDPR. So there's no personal data is stored and feedback is processed in real time. So I'm going to give you an example of one that has been previously done. So we have completed over 500, close to 600 learning walks this year, and this little snippet across the top, and I realise you can't see that perfectly, so I will read it out for you, is basically all that was popped in, yeah, and it created this. So learning walk on MPL 5th of June. It was an NHS lesson. Visualizer use, pre-prepared models in a pupil booklet were great. Turn and talk used, but tried to establish what was discussed in the turn and talk to correct misconceptions. Lots of cold call questions utilised very well, moving from pupil to pupil and incorporating other topics to produce a big picture of knowledge. The behaviour was great. And as a result of that, it has created a large paragraph of strengths and an area for development and some action steps. So the area for development honed in on the turn and talk being used well. It's important to gather insights from these discussions by either circulating during the turn and talk or asking follow-up questions immediately after. This will allow MPL to identify and address any misconceptions more precisely and give pupils feedback based on their shared ideas. And it has also given a clear action step about how to improve that particular area of turn and talk. So it is said, after using the turn and talk, be intentional about checking for understanding, either by circulating during discussions or cold calling to share what was discussed. Continue embedding strong modelling behaviour routines and links across the curriculum to strengthen long-term retention and pupil confidence. Alongside this, the staff member can always go back to look at the instructional coaching booklet as well. So each week I compile the GPT generated summaries and I match them to the teacher's feedback preference at the beginning of the year. So I do have a spreadsheet that outlines whether the emails just to go to those themselves or to go to them and their DOL, but generally I've done that many now. I know each teacher's preference off the top of my head anyway. I send scheduled emails to teachers always at 8 AM on a Monday, and that's to avoid staff heading into the weekend with uncertainty. And when they do receive that email at 8 AM, they do have the option to come and discuss it should they wish to do so. So I've got an example of how the email system works as well. So very, very simple. Go into new email and I have it saved as a template here in the app section. So literally just go apps, my templates, and I click there. Obviously, I need to input the teacher's email, the subject, which is generally LWF, standing for Learning Walk Feedback, followed by the date, teacher's name, and then I simply copy and paste the strengths, areas for development, and the action step that the GPT has created. Now, so we have a reference to each one of those learning walks. There's a separate spreadsheet that we place each members of staff strengths, areas for development and action steps into, and obviously once they have received the email, I highlight it blue to showcase that that has been actioned. Okay, so let me bob back to my PowerPoint slide. So at the bottom of the email, it does state to refer to your instructional coaching booklet again for additional support, but obviously the email does have some actionable steps in there as well. So over the last year, we've completed close to 600 learning walks, and that's we believe that's a very powerful data set that we now hold. So we're able to use AI to analyse that data at scale and pull trends across individual teachers, across departments, across the whole school, and that essentially informs our CPD. We have Thursday afternoon CPD sessions all year, sometimes 1 hour, sometimes 2 hour twilights. We have our Tuesday morning sessions with DOLs, subject leaders essentially, in which that generates the agenda points that would go on to into those meetings, and it would even in some cases inform us of any individuals that need to have one-to-one instructional coaching in order to improve on our phase 1, 2 and 3 strategies. And yeah, every single strategy is always sort of focused and fine-tuned towards that instructional coaching booklet that I've already shown you as well. So as we move into next academic year, we're already exploring how this data that we hold in terms of the 600 learning walks, how that can support us in creating better appraisal targets going forward. At the moment, we still have appraisal targets this year that are based off data and based off using Fisher Family Trust, and there's a lot of discussions around that at the moment not being the best style of practice to have. We know that asking staff to work on the phase 1, 2 and 3 strategies more actually builds progress. So it's a bit of a win-win in the fact that we're wanting to remove data style targets and actually increase teaching and learning target using the data that we have from learning walks. And the way we can do that is by putting a filter on those 600 learning walks for one member of staff who may have been seen 15 to 20 times this year, and asking AI to summarise all the strengths that have taken place in those 15 to 20 lessons and the areas of development that were most common in those 15 to 20 learning walks, and basically using that data to produce a more robust teaching and learning target for teachers to strive to achieve. We believe this is a better process because teachers deserve appraisal targets that actually support their development and not just scrutinise them in not achieving data. So yeah, in 2025-26 we plan to do that, and there's not going to be any one-off judgments, there's not going to be any data proxies, it's just real research informed teaching habits tracked consistently and shared supportively. And we're also looking to gain data moving forward on PP, SEND and EAL participation. So we will be adapting the GPT going forward to understand feedback such as 4 pupil premium pupils were questioned during this learning walk, or EAL pupils work was placed under the visualizer for live marking, and we will be using each staff member's annotated seating plan that will be present in every lesson to support with this, and this will help to improve QA of all pupil groups and allow us to improve the quality of CPD to all teachers, but with the main aim of improving pupil progress. So, learning walks at Fulwood Academy are not about gaining any form of control. They've always been about clarity, trust and shared responsibility for improving pupil progress. We believe we built a system that listens to staff, learns from classrooms and leads to better outcomes for all pupils, and in future we hope it also leads to more development appraisal targets and more robust data with regards to how our pupil premium, our SEND and our EAL pupils are participating in lessons. So thank you very much. There are a few more slides to look through in terms of resources, recommended reading with Rosenshine's principles and Teach Like a Champion Doug Lemov being at the core of a lot of our phase 1, 2 and 3 strategies. And they are my 3 questions for you. So thank you very much for your time. Take care. Bye now.